organization called ChangeFusion. We kind of support early stage social enterprise in Thailand from like like day one all the way to like when they get into like startup and scale up kind of level, and help them with financing, business development, and partnership kind of building things. And we work on social innovations and different technologies and so on as well. Yeah.
Okay. So how is the landscape of social entrepreneurship in Asia right now?
It's
from your point of view
kind of growing. I think it's still at a very early stage, but every year we are seeing that there are many more conferences, meetings, seminars on social innovation and social entrepreneurship. And you are seeing more and more social entrepreneurs everywhere. So I think it's picking up. We have recently created like a fairly informal network called Social Enterprise Network Asia, which consists of around 30-something organizations across Asia, mostly East and Southeast Asia. And most of them are either social enterprise or social enterprise support organizations, incubators, impact investor, venture philanthropists, and different other kind of business development specialists. Yeah. And we meet more and more often, and we can see that things are happening, and we are seeing like some innovation from Japan, for example. Table for Two got replicated, in Hong Kong within a year, and you are seeing like different innovation coming from one country to another, and a lot of social entrepreneurs got inspired by each other. There are more and more local kind of early stage funds that we are seeing both in developing countries and developed countries, and right now I think the challenge is like how do these entrepreneurs even go beyond their own countries, and like Thai companies, social enterprise might be partnering up with people in Denmark, to do some interesting things, or we are seeing like sustainable tourism social enterprise in Korea who's trying to penetrate Vietnamese market, and servicing Japanese travelers. So we are seeing the integration of some very strange and good market happening. Yeah.
And by the way, the reason we just got music because later on we will have a dinner, a closing ceremony afterwards. So that's why there was the music. But let's get back to our conversation. Is there one leading country when it comes to social innovation?
I don't think there's any particular countries who are leading this whole thing in Asia, but I'm seeing like emergence of like the whole Asia as a whole, and as I mentioned before, it seems like different innovation that happen are spreading across different countries, and sometimes it happens because of partnership between two countries, because for example in Nepal, for example, there are like different fair trade coffee producers who are creating like and social entrepreneurs who are creating like the whole fair trade movement and employee-owned companies or cooperative in movement in Nepal. And suddenly you also like see in Korea there are like fair trade coffee importer and promoting the market in Korea. So I think it's more like a complementary thing that is happening at the same time, and hopefully we can try to like link up all these social entrepreneurs or social innovators together and really help foster them to get into partnership and get married, I mean at least professionally, and create a lot of kids in terms of new products and service and so on across
so don't get
the
a divorce when it comes to that.
Well,
or maybe get a divorce and then get over it and get a new marriage. No, come on, just joking. Okay, so talking a little bit about the social entrepreneurship landscape in Thailand now, because now you're based in Thailand. Do you have any special observation when it comes to that?
I think Thailand, as in many other, at least ASEAN country, is slowly developed or slowly growing, but we can see that maybe the phase that is growing, the rate that is growing is getting much faster. You can see more and more social entrepreneurs coming out. Young people want to get into social entrepreneurship, and you can see different. Another thing I can observe now, different professionals, people that used to work in banking, consulting, and all those kind of boring work, not so boring, but kind of quit their job and start something, you know. And now you are seeing a little bit of different companies, big companies who are thinking about launching their own social enterprise or social business, or more importantly, partner up with a social entrepreneurs so that they can really penetrate new market and create more impact and turn from like a typical CSR into more like corporate social innovation kind of approach.
When I have an interview with Alex Nichols, and one of his conclusion points was that Asia can be the leading, you know, when it comes to social innovation. Yes. What's your view on that?
Well, I'm sure he say that partly because he is in Asia now. Okay. So if he say England is leading, then maybe he get into trouble. But of course, I mean, if you look at like where around the world where the biggest problems are, you know, in terms of population, environmental degradations, and really big problems, it's happening in Asia anyhow, right? So if we don't innovate ourselves into different ways to solve those problems, then we will be flushed down the drain, right? So I guess we can kind of learn from all these different existing innovation and kind of make it even better in Asia. And I think also we are seeing a lot of different models happening also in different part of Asia where,
for example, can you give me?
You know, like traditionally, like when you talk about social innovations and social enterprise, especially in developing countries, many times you talk about extreme poverty issues, you talk about water, sanitation, and so on. But in countries like Vietnam, Thailand, and Japan, where you know all these problems are there, but at a different level. But you are seeing new level like pollution, and how do you come up with innovative way of solving problems? Or you're seeing a lot of technology-based social enterprise that do many new technologies for disaster coordination, for disease surveillance systems, or share economy kind of apps that allow, you know, people to share different things or do different, you know, like save energy or do better great thing or create new products that are benefiting to the poor and create like an e-commerce market for that. So I think it's much, I can see the technologies is driving the whole social innovation in Asia as a much, I'm not sure it's faster or not faster than other countries, but it seems to be picking up from a technology point of view. And you're seeing a very strange thing happening, similar to the States where you know, suddenly you have like movie makers, you know, like who are trying to do really good, entertaining, dramatic movie, but about the social issues. And you know, in Thailand, there's one group that did this kind of movie about teenage pregnancy. So you know, they're selling teenagers sex and Thailand, right? So and somehow it kind of worked, and you know, they got like 200,000 tickets sold, and it become talk of the town. And the kids, you know, like talk about all these issues from a very different perspective than just telling them, you know, like sex is no good, you don't do that, anything of that. But you know, through movie and love stories and crazy stuff, and you're seeing this different, innovative and creative thing happening in Asia. So yeah, I really hope this thing continue. And
what I think what I have so far is more like Asia may start late, you know, compared to the US or Europe, whatever. But it seems like the learning curve is much sharper now. It's more like Asia learning very fast, and maybe, you know, and also by doing that, you may develop new models that haven't seen in other. Yeah,
I think Asian countries as a whole are very famous for something called C&D.
C&D?
Copy and development.
Oh.
You know, if you go back in our history, like in Japan, you know, things like made in Japan long time, like during the Second World War, I mean, like, you know, cheap stuff, right? But now it's like the C&D quality stuff, you know, made in China, but designed in California, but you know, for the Apple kind of thing. But why not, you know, design in Korea and make in Thailand or something? But you're seeing like the Thais, the Chinese, and every people in Asia, I think they're really good at learning and copying different models and kind of apply it very quickly to their own context and kind of develop from there. They're good at copying things.
It's great. Well, now the music has started. I think it's about time that we end this interview and go to the entertainment. And you know what? You are an expert. See how much you have shared with me so far?
just a fat guy.
No, you are really learn new thing here at C and D, copy and development. Come on.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Congratulations. Give them a big hand. Congratulations. Okay, the team, please come forward with your chair.
Wow, thank you.
Okay, you're sure, go ahead. Okay, we'd like to conclude this workshop 3 here by sharing this result. We hope this workshop was a good chance for all of you to discuss or begin your new journey for collaborations between different companies and organizations. Thank you for your participation. Thank you.